all commercialized. Mecca, how much money? Vatican. You go to these countries like Vietnam, Thailand, they don't have any of that of Islam and Christianity. Yes, small.
But they fight for it.
Who?
Yeah, because Islam won there, Christianity won there. They still have struggle with them.
But they fought for
Yes. Everywhere Islam went there. Christianity went everywhere.
But they only really conquered Africa.
Yes, they conquered Africa. That's why they divided Africa. There's Africans, Muslim, there's African Christianity.
Welcome back to the Rubasha of Family Podcast. We're here for a very, very special episode. It's New Year's, guys. It's New Year's. It's 2026. And guys, we just had a post on social media go absolutely viral, talking about African names. This is something that my dad has, been on about, and something I slept on. I slept on it myself. I was like, of course I knew how powerful it was. I took my name Sujiro straight away from day one, but it wasn't something that I was just, I've just been doing so much things, but seeing how powerful this topic is, that so many people could relate, so many Africans were saying, yes, it's time we stood up to religion. It's time we stood up to this colonialism and this brainwashing of Islam and Christianity in our continent. So we're entering 2026. Thank you guys so much for the support on the Rubasha Family Podcast. We're still here. We're nearly at 700 streams, 700 downloads, 700 loyal followers who have been coming and streaming our episodes. So that for us is a huge achievement that we're extremely grateful for. We're looking at all of the data, so please make sure you're liking, sharing, and we're putting everything on Spotify so you guys can be listening to this. So welcome, Dad, into 2026.
Thank you, Sujira. Yes, I'm happy, and I wish everyone Happy New Year 2026. And always in this channel, we speak what other people sometimes don't say, especially as African. And that is why we really need your feedback. We work together, we speak together. In 2026, let's rebuild, we inspire or motivate our youth, our young Africans. The way we do it is by communicating. Other communities, they've been inspiring their own for long times, but we forgot about it. My inspiration, I keep going after 5 years, is to remind you, African, reclaim your identity. Reclaim your name. Rwandan names for Rwandan. Kenyan names for Kenyans. Nigerian names for Nigeria. We don't need to mix. We don't need to have white name. My friends, my brothers and my sisters, only sin we have is we take other people's identity.
Other people's identity. Yes. So, where do we even start with that conversation? I was thinking about this, guys. I was like, I look at the Bible and the Quran, right? For example, the Bible, which I'm used to, I haven't read much of the Quran. But let's say from the Bible, many wise stories, many wise lessons in the Bible, powerful lessons that you can apply to your life. But then I still think about it and I say, a man wrote these books. It wasn't God in the sky who came and wrote these books. A man wrote these books. So there's people out there who are so fanatic about Christianity, about Islam, but these are things made by men. Literally made by people like me and you. People who still go and you have your pastor who can go and sleep with another person's wife in the congregation, or the same men who wrote and created the churches and the mosque are where you're so fanatic about. Or am I wrong?
Yes. No, you're not wrong. So also you have to realize the Christianity and Islam and all other religions is a different belief. Yeah, it's just a belief. And I realize, and that is why we have more Islam belief, Muslim belief than Christianity. So Christianity and toward European, it's more commercialized. It's more business. It's more transaction. It's more spending. So Christianity believe it's what they say, this is the best way to do it. So when they say Jesus say is going to make
Water into wine.
all this, every statement he made, it was what he was believing, and the same Muhammad was believing. But when you look the reality, it's more about commercialized, and it's more about simplicity, emotionalized. So Christianity, they think they have to use toilet paper. So now to use toilet paper, it had to be manufactured, and then you have to buy it. Muslims say, okay, use water. So if you use water, it's free. There's nothing there. And the Christianity promote alcohol. So you have to drink. So you have to drink, they have to be manufactured of alcohol. And then you have to buy it. And then people buy it, and then alcohol misuse the mind, and then it distract the family, because sometimes people prefer to go to buy alcohol than to look at the family. And the other idea, it was Muhammad said, no, we don't need alcohol, because alcohol, it distracts family. It doesn't make anything there. And that is the emotions and spirituality thinking there. So people keep fighting, but it's not about fighting. So now there's Christians who try not to drink alcohol. They are trying, and that's why they become saved. Or I'm saved not to drink alcohol. But you see, Islam, they don't need to be saved not to drink alcohol, because their believer told them, don't take alcohol. Don't eat pork. But the Christianity, they say, you have to eat everything, because you have to buy it.
You have to buy it.
So now, when you look in terms of commercialized, that's what I'm saying. If 1.4 billion, I don't know how many Muslims there are, take 10% to drink alcohol, and who create alcohol? See, that is the thing. It's
That's the
more
war.
commercialized.
That's the war that they have
So
to.
that is the war. It is between thinking there. And the good things I realize the Islam have is the discipline. It's the structure. And that is why it keep growing, because it has the structure. It had that things other people they can't control, but because they say this is how it is. Don't eat, don't drink alcohol, don't do this. It's there. So now the other issue is we live in the Western countries and the conflict. So now the problem is the white has seen how Islam is going, and they are worried, they are scared, because it divides Africans. See, African, we've been divided. African, we don't have any belief. See, our belief, we already put them in the toilet. We don't know what we believe. You believe Islam, you believe
Christian. So, for example, you have India, where they have Hindu. They have their own beliefs. Yes, the outside come in, but they still have their own beliefs, right? I speak to Indians, they tell me,
Yes.
oh,
But
Hindu
Muslim has attacked them.
yeah, of course.
Mm.
But they still at least have their own beliefs.
Yes, belief. Also, they have stronger. So that's why also they are powerful. They are powerful. They take their names. They did everything there. But you see, they never attack other community.
Who?
Hindus. But Islam has connected with them. So Islam is the same as Christianity. Yes, they attack other people believe.
How? Because Islam tried to show that we don't colonize.
No. So they don't colonize, but they influence. Yeah. See, so that's why Western did. So the Westerners, they went with arms, but spirituality and mentally, they could not have won. They can never would have won the things there. So, but they use force. See, they use force. So that is why they came to Africa, say, this is what it is. And then they came with colonial, and then they came with force. But they are losing the war. Yes, they are losing the war because when you look Islam, it's more simple way.
So Islam, they came more spiritual warfare.
Yes, warfare by to become easy way
talking. They didn't come by force. They came.
Yes. They
So
didn't come
so
by
so
force.
what effect does it have if we, for example, would you say Islam is an Arabic religion?
Yes, it's Arabic religious.
So
they were too powerful. So that is why they're too powerful. They become powerful even a long time. Also, they fight. So they fight because they were fighting Christians. So the Christians come to them to overrule them, but they defend themselves. So now, when they defend themselves, they feel they are so powerful. Also, they invade everywhere.
Let's also go out.
Yes, go out there. Yeah. So that we found all these South Asia country, Indonesia, Malaysia. They went to preach their belief.
So what effect does it have by them going and doing that? Like, what power does it give them if they can go in and not colonize in the traditional, the way the English did,
yes,
but they can come in and influence
so colonize not only physical, but they colonize in the mind.
What effect does that have?
So the effect as is, yes, so you belong to their belief. See, it's to believe. It's a powerful belief. So it's just this is our people. See, when they came to Africa, this is your name. This is the thing there. So now, look, when you be colonized by the religious, by mentally, who do you follow? So all Islam countries, all Muslim countries, they're on one side. And the other Christian there's the one side. So the war we see there now, that is only the war we see. And it's the war of mental belief.
And if you think about it, like, if there's ever a war that breaks out, like the Arabs, whoever's Muslim in all these other countries, who's going to go on their side? They have the numbers on their side. Yes. The English can go and get numbers on their side.
So the way now, if you come now, so this wrong way, the war have been there long time ago. But when we look individual to fight, not using arms, not using military, not using police, as individual, the Muslims are very stronger than the Christians.
Individual, yeah. Like you see our posts on social media, we talk about, Christianity, colonizing, and all these things. It doesn't go so big. As soon as we mentioned the Islam one,
yes. So Islam has put them mentally to be able stronger, to be able mind stronger, to be able to fight. So the Islam Muslim fight back. So they're not like Christians. Christians, they don't fight back. So but that way I can see in Australia to be a Christians is just by name. It's not just they believe. It's not just go to church.
Because they don't go to church anyway.
It's not go to church anymore. But that's a good to realize. They believe mean nothing. Believe mean nothing. Because if you change, you die. Somebody told you can't eat pork. But when you eat without knowing, it doesn't make any difference. And it's not going to give you anything.
Because I'm sure there's some of them who eaten pork and they didn't know they've eaten pork.
Yes. And then again, it's commercial. Every year, there's many Christians who go to Christian sacred everywhere. It could be Rome,
Catholics,
there everywhere.
Those guys are powerful
So
too.
that called tourism religious. They spend money to go there. And where those tourists are there? In Europe. Otherwise, Mecca. Billion of every year goes to Mecca's asset. What do we have in Africa? Religious, nothing. Because our God is in the nature. Only tourism we have in Africa is just animals.
But guys,
so that is why God has given that nature. There's no other religions we have. Or there's no other tourists bring people to Africa. Only tourism we have is the animals. Why there's no other animals anywhere in the world the way we have? When you look Masai Mara, when you look gorilla in Rwanda, when you look every other nation, South Africa, and all those, they have much nature. Oh, much nature as God, because God is nature. All animals have sensor. You know? Our animals in the ears, anything. You know, anything you see on animals, that is the sensor to know where the enemy is, to know where to go, to know everything there. So they live and they survive. If it's raining, they live. If it's hot, they live. And if it's the time to die, they die. But they have sensor.
But like, I don't want that to go over people's heads. So when it comes to the two religions, everything also comes down to economics.
Yes.
In Arab, in however you say it, they have Mecca. People spend millions, billions every year to go to Mecca. Right? The same people who've come to Africa.
So they call it religious tourism.
Yeah, religious tourism. They go there to Mecca to pray. That is millions and billions going to their economy.
Yes.
The Europeans with the Catholic churches going to the Vatican and all that stuff. Millions and billions of money going into their pockets.
But nothing to come to Africa.
But nothing comes back to Africa. You look at, even if I go to India, if I go to Vietnam, at least they have tourism.
Those temples.
In the temples, Buddhism, Hindu.
Very respected.
Respected.
Anything.
I went there to Vietnam myself. Oh, by the way, I was in Vietnam. And I'm going to forget a lot, but I went to Vietnam. And when I went there, do you know what they said? So basically, I think countries came in and tried to colonize them with their religion. But Vietnam, they removed all outside influences.
Yes, America went there.
You know, Vietnam, they don't believe in God. They don't believe in Vietnam. They have temples. Their temples. So they have their own beliefs.
It's the same as Thailand, Cambodia, all those South Asia. They have that is why
their own names.
They are doing good. They are progressing. They have been doing things there. But if you remember, European attacked them. They are so powerful. They invaded everyone. But the weak one were African.
So you see how all these everything is commercialized. That's why people who are fanatics of Islam, of Christianity, look,
nothing to do with it is commercial.
It's just commercial.
Yes.
It's all commercial. Hey, we're not saying you can't believe in it. Believe in everything you want to believe. But if you really understand what's happening behind the scenes, you'll understand it's all commercialized. Mecca, how much money? Vatican. But again, like we just said, you go to these countries like Vietnam, Thailand, they don't have any of that nonsense of Islam and Christianity. Yes, small.
But they fight for it.
Who?
Yeah, because Islam went there. Christianity went there. Yes, they still have struggle with them.
But they fought for
this. Everywhere Islam went there. Christianity went everywhere.
But they only really conquered Africa.
Yes, they conquered Africa. That's why they divided Africa. See, there's Africans Muslim, and there's African Christianity. And a child of African Christian is not going to allow African Muslim. Some parents, now we're talking now we're talking. There's a parents now who are Africans, who have daughter or son married a different person from different belief. And guess what they say? You're not my son. Or you're not my daughter.
Or their son is maybe they're Christian.
Yes,
whatever. Converted to Islam.
They cast their children because they believe. And remember, this is what you believe is commercial. It's idea. If your parents listen to this program, you hate your children because you married somebody. You never go to see your grandchildren. Start thinking.
Why?
Open your mind. Start thinking. Why?
Over someone else's belief.
Make you not look after your family. Make you not connect to your family. That's why we are here. We are here to talk about the change of our life, to bring the family together. The belief change you. If grandparents, you don't want to go to see your children because what does he make? If you pray on Sunday, your Saturday, or Wednesday, or Monday, what is make different? But Africans, that is not who we are. That is not our religious. That is not our name. Think about it. Because we have been doing wrong things for a long period of time, it doesn't make it right. It doesn't make the truth. We live in lies. And the lies, because they've been in our mind for a long time, it become the truth. And that's the lesson you can learn from today. The lies in the morning become the truth. And the truth in the morning become the lies.
All right, guys, I think we should end it there. Nice, short and sharp for you guys in the New Year's. And, I saw all the comments on Instagram, guys. I'm getting comments every single day. And one thing that's really made me proud is so many Africans come and saying, like, thank you. I've been talking about this for years. There's so many people of you guys. Even I saw a comment on YouTube, when I know this is working. What I measure is when people we don't know, I don't know the person who commented on YouTube, I don't know who you are, but you felt like exactly, you guys are right. There's no way. Someone said on YouTube, he was like, this is so true. Until we as Africans are so influential where we can have other people calling their names African names, we should not give our children names of outsiders. And so people have been saying like, wow, this is so true. Thank you guys. Thank you. It's finally, people are saying finally some people are speaking about it. So as I said, when I see that, I'm like, holy crap, my dad was right. He was right. No, like, we're the first people to talk about this. No one has come out as Africans have come against Christianity, come out against Islam and called it out for how it is. And we're not saying anything bad about other people, but we're just waking up to Africans. We're talking to Africans here to let's take back our names, right? Again,
and our belief.
And our beliefs.
And then we go back to know who our ancestors was believing. Why do we, the other program I did Kinyarwanda. So do we African need to belong to Christianity and to Islam to be able to live life? No. And you see now, other things when you talk about it. So when slave went to America, Africans, so the white want to convert them to Christianity. And it's what they did. They did make sure they convert them to Christianity. And the Christianity, when they did it, is the same missionary. They planted fear in them. The first fear, they say, suffer here, be slave here, but when you die, you go to heaven. And they did it. And that is why you go to see the Christianity, the Protestants, the church in America is so powerful. He has bringing millions and millions in Africa in hell for long of time. But the same time, the hell also become successful because the economy of the country is so successful. So they thought it comes from to go to church. It comes from Christianity. It comes to wait until they go to heaven. Now, when also the Islam came in, you see, Islam, where it came in, it came where the white have been suppressing the Africans. So now Islam came always, it's like a savior to the African. So that is why they were surprised. So I was reading the Muhammad Al-Rajah, who bring the Christianity, who bring the Islam in America, he surprised them.
He's surprised who the
British, yes, and the Americans,
yeah,
because they taught all Africa they continue to be Christians. And now he saw all those the treatment of Africans. So now that's why he came again with more emotions, with discipline. Stop drinking. Stop thinking
pork. They don't eat
pork. I think they are only not about pork. Also, the discipline was the key, because always the Christianity was giving them more alcohol, more commercialized thing. There, Muhammad Reza came with a different way, but it was a war after the war. So that is the war. Even now, we're still sitting there in America. Yeah, it's a Christianity in Islam. And that is why when they make Muhammad change Cassius Clay, Muhammad Ali to Islam. And that is the weapon they use. They were lucky to have that weapon.
And even the
imagine if you could have taken African name.
Imagine.
If African could have got to go back to know where you're coming from. Why the slave they make sure mentally they lose their name? Because they do want to make sure to know where they're coming from.
Imagine you went from Cassius Clay, a white name, to Muhammad Ali, an Arabic.
But which is wrong. You should have gone to the African names.
And you just go to show you
if
how
they come with African names, it goes back where their roots. But you see, when they bring them to America, they make sure they forgot completely their names. So if that make you to understand why we are bringing this idea to take back our identity, that is the history of suffering, the history to become slave is everything there. That will tell you everything, every athlete in the world, African, even Americans, most of them managed by white or by Muslim.
Yes, guys, thanks so much for watching. We hope you enjoyed this amazing episode. Powerful stuff, powerful conversations, and we'll see you guys on the next episode. Peace.
If you really enjoyed this video, make sure to click here, and I'm sure you're going to love that one.